Hey, what is up mortals, it is JamesCfer here, and before we get into today's video, there's a few things I'd like to say. Firstly, Anime Royalty has officially launched, everything is going up. As we speak, there should be 2 of my videos going up, and there's a few of Junkies videos going up on Anime Royalty. Should have picked a better name, damn it. Anyway, yeah, Anime Royalty is live. Second thing, the Discord. The Discord takes you directly to Anime Royalties at the moment. And lastly, the Patreon. I get it, not everyone has enough money to support people. That's perfectly fine. If you don't want to support us on Patreon or you cannot afford to, please hit that like button and make sure that you're subscribed and always leave a comment on every single video. It makes the world of difference for us. Anyway, let's get into the video. In the last part, the sports festival, it had just been invaded by villains. They injured Kirishima and they were kidnapping Izuku. The Nomu also caused All Might to lose one for all, but he barely managed to save everyone else, with Endeavor saving All Might in the end. Endeavor looked down at All Might. All Might was bloodied and skinny. Endeavor's emotions were just running all over the place. He was so confused. What happened to All Might? Endeavor's face just shows both confusion and anger. Toshinori looks up to him, coughing up blood, and slowly stands up. He tells Endeavor, "Go, defeat the Nomu, and save the kids." Endeavor realizes that they're still endangered and just quickly runs off to go and help. Kurogiri teleports over to Shigaraki and tells him that Endeavor has arrived, and that they should escape now. This angered Shigaraki, as he wanted to watch All Might die. Todoroki fires an ice spiral attack towards the 2 villains, which Kurogiri notices and creates a huge portal in front of them, opening up the portal behind the students, and Todoroki's ice attack rushes at them. No one has time to react or do anything. Except for Kirishima, he quickly gets in the way. He goes in to tank the whole ice attack, which he does pretty well at. After the attack, he just falls over unconscious, completely worn out by the force behind it. Todoroki uses ice on the ground and rushes towards where Izuku was. Then he begins to run at the villains. "Where did you take Izuku?" He yells at them in a demanding tone. Kurogiri whispers to Shigaraki not to answer. He'll just give away the location, but Shigaraki doesn't care. "He's in a safe place with us. He'll do just fine." He then smiles creepily under the hand that is on his face. Endeavor fires a huge fire blast at the Nomu, basically just constantly burning it. Fortunately for him, the Nomu wasn't designed to beat him, and it obviously shows as the Nomu just runs through the fire and just gets burned to pieces as it tries to do this. It leaps at Endeavor and just slams him in the face. Endeavor's face is slightly caved in on the side. His nose is just broken from the impact itself, but he keeps standing up. He keeps trying to burn it, and it's just not enough. The Nomu's skin begins to turn to leather as it's just being barbecued, and then it's launched into the air, where it just breaks into several parts and then it begins to regenerate mid-fight, which Endeavor didn't expect. He fires another huge blast at the Nomu, which he doesn't think will actually reach it, but he needs to do something. The Nomu tries to dodge out of the way. The Nomu gets right up next to him, about to end this, when there's a massive explosion that comes out from underneath. Someone yells, "I'll kill you!" Bakugo uses full body and leaps in through the air. He fires another massive explosion, except this one's enhanced with one for all. This one doesn't damage the Nomu as easily, but it does definitely blast him back. Bakugo just begins to nuke it from afar, hitting it with absolutely everything he can. Endeavor then turns to his side and sees his son fighting with Shigaraki. Shigaraki keeps attacking the kid, breaking all the ice that he can, slowly but surely making his way closer to him. Endeavor just thinks to himself, "Come on Shoto, use your fire side. Stop being so stubborn. You're gonna get yourself killed like this." Endeavor crosses his arms and just watches his son fighting for his life. Toshinori stands up and looks at Endeavor watching his son and is just shocked. "What the hell are you doing? Go help your goddamn son, Endeavor!" Endeavor keeps his arms crossed and Toshinori just walks next to him asking, "What are you doing?" Endeavor just turns to him and says, "Shoto needs to learn how to be number 1. His stubbornness gets in the way of him just being the best." In some way, shape or form, All Might actually relates to this. As he was a student, he was very stubborn. Todoroki keeps using his ice side when Shigaraki leaves over the giant glacier towards him. With his outstretched hands, he's about to pretty much just decay Todoroki outright. But then Bakugo arrives after completely wiping out the Nomu. He fires a giant blast at Shigaraki. The leader of villains just goes flying backwards. Bakugo and Todoroki both rush towards him. Panicking, the leader begins to step back. But then Kurogiri opens a portal underneath himself and Shigaraki so that they both go straight to the villain base. They needed to get out of there, it was too late. Bakugo is angry that they let him get away, and blasts a chair nearest him. He then leaps away. He lands next to All Might asking him if he's alright and what happened. That's when All Might explains to him how the embers of One For All have finally faded. He's shocked. He now blames himself. All Might had to retire because of me. Meanwhile, Endeavor asks his son why he didn't use his fire side. If he had, he could have easily taken out Shigaraki. He would have definitely had time, and it would have been Shigaraki that was on the defense the whole time instead. Todoroki clenches his fist. Why didn't you help me when Shigaraki was trying to kill me? His anger was clear. It just enraged him that his father was so stubborn that he would rather let his son die rather than teach him and actually help him. Endeavor just gives no words as Todoroki looks over to All Might. He tells them that they took Izuku and that he's not sure why. This confuses All Might. Why would they take him? It's not like he's anything remarkable. He's just like any other student. Bakugo is also confused. Izuku's a weakling. He's even weaker with a quirk. But Todoroki tells him that he apparently has a new quirk. It appeared. There was a purple flash between him and another villain, and then the villain no longer had his quirk and Deku had the villain's. Endeavor states that quirk trading's unheard of, but All Might stops him. There's only one man he knows with a quirk that can take quirks. If he had a son, there's no doubt in my mind that that would be his quirk. If this really is the case, then All For One must be Izuku's father. Kirishima then moans that he needs help, which everyone notices. Bakugo grabs Kirishima and starts to carry him. He takes him to the infirmary where Recovery Girl had actually barricaded herself in. You could see beds and everything piled up against the door. She promises to take good care of them, which Bakugo thanks her for. That's a bit odd, Bakugo thanking someone. Todoroki tells the rest of his students, as well as some teachers, what had happened with Izuku and why he was taken. Everyone is shocked that Izuku was taken, especially Ochako and Ida. Ochako doesn't know why she feels so sick. Izuku's her friend, but this feeling? It feels like she's been stabbed through the heart. Ida feels guilty. If he hadn't fled and let one student get injured, and another one kidnapped, he might have been able to do something. Aizawa promises that he'll find Izuku wherever he's been taken to. Inside of the villain lair, Mr. Compress, Shigaraki and Kurogiri all sat around. Mr. Compress is just commenting on the fact that they failed. They were tasked to kill All Might. And Shigaraki clenches his fists and looks at the TV screen. You're lucky I didn't take your quirk to do it myself. You had only one job. Izuku lets out a moan as his eyes start to open. He tries to move, but his body is strapped to the chair. His hands are locked up as, well, to try and stop him from being able to do anything to get free. He sees the villains and is afraid. Why have I been taken here? He wonders to himself. Kurogiri walks over and comments that Izuku's finally awake. The other two notice walking over to him. Shigaraki greets Izuku, and Izuku asks, where am I? Shigaraki tells him, no, I'm not going to tell you that. Izuku looks up with fear in his eyes, and he pleads with them for them to let him go. I'm just a student. I'm not like them. I'm not anywhere near their level. Shigaraki grins as he places his hand on the restraints holding young Midoriya. He then decays it, breaking it apart, letting Izuku get free. Confused, Izuku gets up, rubbing his hands. Those restraints, they had been hurting his wrists. Confused, Izuku looks around. He raises one hand up towards Shigaraki, asking, what's stopping me from blasting you right now? Noticeably, his arm is shaking from just the pure fear that he's feeling right now. You're the true protagonist in all of this. Our Prince of Darkness. Maybe it's fitting for you to talk to our first king. This creeps out Izuku significantly. Why so many questions? He had to ask so much, but he has no time. He just feels confused as he looks down and sees a purple portal underneath him. He now appears somewhere else. He falls through the portal. He now appears in a room, on top of a hospital bed. Where am I? Izuku asks, panicked. He gets off the bed and then looks around, seeing no one else, and the room's just completely dark. A voice from the darkness echoes, and Izuku thinks that he knows it. It's alright, Izuku. You're safe now. The voice sounds familiar, almost comforting. Izuku yells at the person to reveal themselves when a familiar figure walks through the darkness and straight into Izuku's line of sight. Izuku says, Dad? His mind starts to race. No way his father could be the villain. This doesn't make sense. He must be here to free him. His father places a hand on his son's shoulder, telling him not to panic. You're in a safe place. I have a lot of explaining to do, but if you give me time, I'll explain. Everything will make sense. You just have to bear with me. He explains to Izuku how he fought All Might and became so weak that he could barely maintain his form. Izuku must carry on his legacy, finish off the line of One For All, and then he explains to everyone, well, to Izuku, how his brother had betrayed him all those years ago, and how One For All has just been building up and tearing everything down that All For One had tried to build over the years. You could build an empire, you could be a god with any quirk you like. Izuku just looks at him. And that's where we're going to end it this time. Thank you all for watching. I am sorry if I stuttered at all throughout the video. I did have the hiccups all the way through it, and it was very annoying for me as well. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you all have an amazing day. Don't forget to support us if you feel like supporting us, or don't support us if you don't feel like supporting us. If you hated this video, hit that dislike button. If you liked the video, hit that like button. Please don't hit that dislike button. Anyway, peace out mortals, have an amazing day.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining.